Hello everyone, and welcome to day 9, and it's part 12. Well, it's game 12 in my counter. Come here, crow. Let's murder this crow. Oh, murder of crow. Oh, you see what I did there? That was clever. Wait, no. Dog, get off. There we go. This is Earthworm Jim, which is the wackiest platformer ever. This is a game that I absolutely loved. All these controls are messed up. The jump is on the wrong button, but never mind. I love Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim is, like Super Mario World, one of those games that I just sunk hours and hours of time into as a kid. And this is definitely probably more defining of my tastes than Super Mario World, because, well, it's just such a silly idea, silly game, and silly concept, and silly characters, and all of that stuff. And it's great fun as well, and there is that. And this weapon is a Super Blasto gun thing. I don't know what the official name is, but knowing this game, it probably is Super Blasto gun. It wouldn't surprise me. Get off me, bird. The thing with Earthworm Jim is that it is completely and utterly insane as a concept. It is the weirdest classic game that I own, and it is also one of the best as a result. And go away, crow. Go away, other crow. What we have is if you don't know the concept of Earthworm Jim, it is about a worm named Jim, and his life got turned upside down when his mother told him to go and live in Bel Air. No. Sorry, it came out in the 90s, what do you expect? It is a game about a worm named Jim who ends up getting caught up in a experimental super suit and gains superpowers, and he has to go around and save the universe from evil types, and those evil types include a killer goldfish and a man with a monkey for a head, because that is this game in a nutshell for you. It is not a game that makes a hell of a lot of sense, and just when you think you've kind of got it figured out, it starts going off on tangents and stuff. Like, this seems fairly normal. It's set in a junkyard, and you just have to murder crows and stuff. And you've got a dog running around who apparently is the owner. Who is apparently the dog of the owner of the junkyard, who is the man. Apparently, it's a junk planet of some kind because he flies through space. Because he's a worm, of course. Everything makes sense in this game. Everything makes sense, and there is nothing that is questionable about the way this game works. I don't know why you think that there is. Nope. I realize I haven't actually set my timer for this particular recording, so I'm just going to see how far I get before I run out of things to say. It works. I just wasted the Super Blasto shot thing. I'm going to call it that now. This is probably the sanest level of all of the Earthworm Jim levels ever. Earthworm Jim 2, which was its sequel, was a little bit more madcap. It did have a third game in the series, but that was pretty bad. I never got very far in that one. I owned it on the PC. And I didn't really seem to enjoy it. No! Dog, go away. There we go. I never finished this game as a kid, and I still have not finished it to this day because it is nightmarishly hard. Very imaginative, but also nightmarishly hard. But the extent of how much I love this game is in the fact that I don't normally buy HD games, as I mentioned in the Okami video, or the Okami video, whatever. But I bought the HD remake of this because why not? Not because I missed it, because I already bought it off the Wii store, so, you know, I was like, But I figured, you know, it's Earthworm Jim. It's just amazing. But also, in terms of just like part of the reason why I was so interested in Hell Yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit when that came out was because it just reminded me so much of this game, and it was just like, yep. And yeah, this is only a taster of what the game is like. It's very simple, like 2D platformer game, as you can probably tell. Boss fight time. It's a mini boss. No. This boss is kind of a weird one because you can only damage him when he's facing you. Very cool. It says that regardless, it's not like a ranking system or anything. It's very simple 2D platformer, very, very fun, very bizarre, very silly. Basically just running, shooting, doing all that. Got 100% health, that's what that was all about. Second game was a bit sillier because there was like an entire level where Jim is now a blind cave salamander. That is generally the name of the level. That ends in a really weird quiz where like you've got questions like, what colour is Jim's big red gun? Yeah. The reason why that one wasn't picked instead of this one, because that one is certainly more imaginative, was just because I just had more fun with this, and this is definitely... I never owned the sequel as a kid. I bought the sequel off the Virtual Console more recently. This is the boss. Can't damage him directly. He vomits up fish. Because, of course. Because why not? There we go. Why... isn't this higher if it's another defining game in my childhood? Because I haven't finished it, ever. It is such a difficult game. As a child, I never got past the tube race. The tube race, of course, was a fun little level where you had to... you had an air meter of sorts, and you had this really flimsy submersible thing, and you had to try and survive underwater in this really twisty set of tunnels, and if you would take damage from the tunnel walls, and if you ran out of air you would die instantly and all of that stuff, and I never got past that as a kid. As an adult, I learnt that there was a secret air pocket thing that would really, really help you if you can't get through it, and it would have been nice if Game Facts had existed when I was a kid, because that would have been lovely. And seriously helped me out. But sadly, it did not exist at the time, and I didn't know. But I did get past it, and then like it varies now, where as far as how far I can get in the game after that, because sometimes I can get past the bungee jumping level that comes after the tube race. Sometimes I can't. It's a really weird level, that one. You have to bungee jump against a lump of snot. I'm not kidding. You also have to fly off in a rocket. I might just play the next level just to give you... No, as in like there's a level between levels, and I'll play that level. Anti-asteroids. I can't remember how the hell you play this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's a throttle button. You have to race against Psychro, who is a giant crow in a... suit. He's a crow in a suit. And he apparently is partially responsible for delivering the suit to where Jim lived and all the rest of it. Another thing I can talk about with this game as well is the fact that it had a cartoon series, and that's partially why it's so nostalgic to me, is because I actually loved that cartoon as a kid. It was cheaply made and it was terrible and it was silly, just as much as the game, but I liked it, and it was definitely a defining moment of my childhood to watch that show, because it was just such a bizarre show, and probably, again, it's one of those things that shaped my taste for years and years to come afterwards. So there's that. So if you ever wondered why I'm so cool with things that don't make a hell of a lot of sense, this is because of this game, probably. And I'm just like, yeah, I won that race. The ending, the winning theme is great. It's the best thing ever. I will leave you on that. And I'll see you tomorrow with another game that you've seen before.